Dr. MGR, Educational and Research Institute, Madurai, Chennai. Dr. MGR, Educational and Research Institute, Madurai, Chennai. Dr. MGR, Educational and Research Institute, Madurai, Chennai.
Good afternoon, sir. Tyagu sir, good afternoon. Warm welcome to you, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Sir, I have given one more gadget that panelist requisition. Kindly accept it, sir.
Yeah. I added, ma'am. So I joined. Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Warm welcome, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Radhika ma'am, kindly accept our request, ma'am. I have given panelist request to you. Kindly accept it, ma'am.
Pave, you can start, Pave.
Ma'am, Radhika ma'am not yet joined. Actually, she came, but at present she is not here, ma'am. I think she has some problem.
அம்மா ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காங்களா? ராதிகா மேடம் ஜாயின் பண்ணிருக்காங்க.
2 minutes before she joined, ma'am, but at present her name is not here, ma'am. I think she went out from our meeting, I think. Yeah, she came, ma'am. Radhika ma'am, kindly accept our panelist request, ma'am.
Mari
Radhika ma'am joined, ma'am.
Maria,
Shall we start, ma'am?
start.
Yes, ma'am.
Maria, you can start.
A warm noon wishes to everyone. The beginning of knowledge is the discovery of something we do not understand. With this note, I welcome one and all present here to the fourth day of the virtual International Faculty Development Program organized by the Faculty of Education in association with Academic Staff College, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. I would like to extend a special welcome to our keynote speaker, Professor V. Radhika Ma'am, Additional Registrar, Phase 2, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. I now request Professor V. Radhika Ma'am to deliver the keynote address. Ma'am, I kindly request you to accept our virtual bouquet, ma'am.
I think, ma'am, she's having some net issues, it seems.
I would like to call upon Dr. P. Sendamil Pabai ma'am to introduce the resource person of today's session.
I'm profusely elated to take the opportunity to introduce our chief guest of today's session, Dr. K. Thiagu, Assistant Professor, School of Education, Central University of Kerala, Kasarkot, Kerala. He has about 17 years of experience in Department of Education. His area of specializations are methods of teaching mathematics, quantitative research in education, educational statistics, ICT in education, and educational psychology. A renowned person with a good reputation in his research profile. He has authored 4 books and 5 chapters, and he also published more than 70 plus articles in UGC peer-reviewed journals. He has guided 22 M.Ed students and 4 PhD scholars. He has organized several programs and acted as a resource person for more than 130 plus national and international conferences and workshops. He has been a life member in Indian Society for Education and Allied Science and the Council of Teacher Education. He is a powerful motivator and strong visionary person. He is a man with many feathers on his cap. And adding to that, he is a recipient of the following awards. Dr. P.K. Sudesh Kumar Memorial Best Researcher Award by CTE Kerala in 2012. 5 Best Paper Presenter Awards by St. Anthony's College of Education, Jayanti College of Education, St. Ignatius College of Education, SRM University, and Gandhigram Rural Institute. A new milestone was added to his career. He has completed his 3 projects from ICSSR, Central University of Kerala, and Central University of Bihar. It is a great privilege to have such a renowned person amidst us today. I'm immensely pleased to welcome you, sir. So kindly please accept our virtual bouquet.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now the session is yours, please, sir.
Thank you so much. I have some throat infection, so hopefully my voice is audible to all of you.
Clear, sir.
Yes, okay, fine. Okay, so if there are any issues, kindly inform me. Just I'm sharing the screen and then after that I will present my views. Madam, can you stop your sharing? Yes, thank you. Yeah, so hope my screen visible to all of you.
Welcome, sir.
So thank you, ma'am. So hope my screen visible to all of you. Yes. Madam, good afternoon, ma'am. Geeta,
Good
ma'am.
afternoon,
Yeah,
sir.
sorry.
Welcome, sir. And
Yeah.
net issue, that's what I was not able to join. Late.
Okay, not an issue, ma'am.
You
Not
can
an issue.
continue, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, Radhika ma'am have joined, ma'am. Shall we call her?
You call her, ask her to give, otherwise you close it.
I would like to extend a special welcome to our keynote speaker, Professor B. Radhika ma'am, Additional Registrar, Phase 2, Dr. MGR Education Research Institute. I now request Professor B. Radhika ma'am to deliver the keynote address. Ma'am, I kindly request you to accept our virtual bouquet, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah, I also express my gratitude to our principal, madam, for having invited me as a guest keynote speaker on this August occasion. I welcome Professor Dr. Thiagu. He has got a lot of feathers on his cap. I just now heard his introduction to the August gathering. So we are very much delighted to have you, sir, and with your wide knowledge and expertise in the field of research and publications, and also in the field of sponsored research. I think you will provide all the participants with valuable information and also provide them with the required impetus to carry on with their research activities in their universities or their educational field, wherever they are pursuing their doctorate degree. And whoever wants to join also pursue their doctoral degree programs, I think they'll be most motivated at the end of your talk. So we are very much pleased to have this 5-day FDP program. Our staff academic college has been providing the opportunity to all the faculties to conduct these kind of faculty development programs, so that not only the faculty from our university, but all the other educational institutions can benefit. It is an online program, so it gives much more flexibility. So you're not required to be physically present, so you can, at your own convenience, this kind of an online event is possible. So I wish all the members who are present here
Kindly
university
excuse for
as
this
well as
technical
outside.
glitch.
So thank you so
I
much,
now
madam.
request Dr.
Thank you,
K.
sir,
Thiagu,
and
sir,
we
to
welcome you,
take over
sir,
the
again.
session, sir, please.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So thank you so much, ma'am. So can I share the screen? Can I share the screen now? Yeah. So 1 minute. Yes. So hope my screen visible to all of you. The topic which I'm going to be
Yes, sir.
covered now, free open source software. The short form free open source software is called FOSS. Normally we may call the FOSS software or FOSS tools, right? Free open source software for data analysis. I hope you are familiar with a lot of tools. Particularly, you might know what SPSS and R and all. But now I'm going to focus on some of the free tools. Even the R is a free software only. But even though the free, in the case of R, we have to know the coding and all. But I'm going to be talking about the tool. There is no need for the coding and all. It's very much graphical user interface. Anyone can look like SPSS. That is a great advantage while using this kind of tool. This is my agenda, my presentations. My presentations with this, what is this kind of split I did now. There is a prologue. So just I like to give small memes. From the memes, I'm going to create a small motivations to you or create some interest. Then I move to the what is the need for ICT in research. Then I'm focusing on only the yellow color things only I'm going to focus, because when you think about the ICT in research, we can divide into 3 aspects. One is the pre-data analysis ICT tools. During the data analysis, what are the ICT tools, and the post-data analysis tools. But I'm going to focus in now only the data analysis tools in the free basis. Then finally, I conclude my presentation with my remarks. This is my presentations of agenda. As part of the the motivation purpose, just like to show some of the means in what way the people are doing the research in the current scenario. Most of the research, even I did the same way. So in the 4th year only, I may started to work and finish the data collection. Finally, I force up my work to finish the things and all. This is the way most of the time we are what is very lazy in the case of first and second years. So third and fourth year we started to work. And see, when someone's completed PhD within 2.5 years, so we won't believe it because now the PhD minimum we know at least the 3 years is needed. Or some people they may extend 3 4 years, 5 years, sometimes it may be 6 years, 7 years also. It's going on. If someone's are finished within 2.0 years, you may think like this. And the biggest problem in the research side, this is a problem for the researcher. If we are not taking the proper topic, for example, my research area is to be technology. If my guide forced me to attend psychology, I'm not good in the sense, how can I lead the further? So therefore, the researcher may decide what is your specialization. That area you have to take it. Okay, don't for lot of external force may comes to such a different topic and all. But as a researcher, we have to select which is our most apt research area that we have to select. Otherwise, this kind of issues come. Suppose if you are not using selecting a proper chapel or the shoe, this kind of issues may come. The same thing. And peace look like a puzzle box, right? Why I'm highlighting this puzzle box? The people might knows how to join the PhD. The biggest problem for the people that doesn't know how to finish the PhD. They could not find the way to finish the PhD. So they know how to join out of the guide and all. But final moment after 2 years, they may fed up how we can finish. They have a lot of stress it creates. That's why they may they're having a lot of worries while writing the research report and all. That's a big challenge. And now the current scenario after the 2018 PhD norms or the that notification highlight that all the students, the PhD students, they may be published 2 article news corpus, right? Or UC list. Therefore, publication is the biggest headache for the research sites, particularly in the social science research from our end. So that is what happened. Now the people, they may be sent a lot of article to the Scopus or Web of Science and all, but automatically they may be reject our article. Why? In the sense because they may accepting good quality. But when you do any kind of research, we are going with a basic statistics or basic level of research methodology only. That is why they are not apt. What is that? Accepting our article and all. So kindly check. So in you can refer if you look onto the Scopus or Web of Science in what way the other people's already published. If you have some overview, you may get some insight. Then from that insight, you can develop an article and you can publish. It's very simple. And see, the most of the time, the journal how they react from us. Suppose we are sending an article in a free journal, in a free Scopus or Web of Science. They may have kept that article more than 1 year, sometimes 6 months or 8 months. The final moment they may told, sorry, we are not accepting your article. So because they didn't meet our scope of journal. The final moment they told. And see some of the non-paid channel. Okay, so non-paid channel, this kind of reviews. If you go for the paid journal, they won't look onto the quality. Just with the money they are publishing it. So my intentions, don't go for the paid journal. Like even the Scopus under something paid, but when you like to publish it, it will be a quality that you have to think. When you like to do the quality, kindly you must be depends on a lot of IC tools because lot of IC tools may enhance your work. For example, if you look onto the Scopus or Web of Science, all the citation you have to do with the Mendeley and Jotaro. The Mendeley and Jotaro is nothing but the ICT tools only, right? Once you knows how to use the Mendeley and Jotaro, then only you can be able to make it a good article in a proper citation with proper references. So we must know how to use these are the ICT tools for our research purpose. The next thing, there is a problem with online resource also. If you just type your key terms in the Google, it gives you more than lakhs of content. But the problem, which may be a more apt for our research. So that is why we are looking onto the meta-analysis or critical review of research reviews. So we must know which is more apt. That only you have to take it. Don't take all the article which is available in the ICT because that also part of the ICT tools. We must be aware of it. Just I'm moving to the small definition. Why the ICT is made for research. ICT tools are mainly used by researchers for its ability to use knowledge and gathering process and to enhance the resource development. So particularly, the ICT tools may helping to gain the knowledge and getting that information very fastly, and we can what is that? We particularly in the case of Mendeley and Jotaro, what is the role is doing? It's called as a reference management system. It managing all the references, and finally we can write an article, we can write a thesis report and all. So like this, we can gather all the information in a Mendeley Jotaro. Similarly, we can do any kind of calculation through the SPSS or Jomovi or JASP. Lot of tools are available. So like this, the plenty of ICT tools may helping to reduce our headache while doing the research. So in the case of ICT tools, I'm dividing to this much of way. One aspect is called search engine. Particularly, if you look onto the Google Scholar or Web of Science or Scopus, this may be search engine to find only the research article, right? Then the second one, connect and communicate with the experts in the research. Particularly, there is a separate applications in the case of UGC to connect the experts, right? And free digital library and data analysis, lot of tools which I'm going to discuss now. Referencing tool, and particularly write and publish, we are using a Grammarly, or for in the pledgers we are using the Turnitin or Inia. Now the previous name is now the new name is called Original, right? So now the previously there's a different name. Now we are using the software names called Original or Turnitin. So like this, different softwares might help you to write and research report. And generally, we can classify the ICT tools into three ways. One is called pre-data analysis tools. During the data analysis, which other tools we can use it. And after finishing the data analysis, what are the tools might help you for the data analysis. But now I'm going to focus on only the second one, the data analysis tools only. So just I move to the, the slide of 53, the application of ICT in data analysis. So generally, if you look onto the data analysis, we can go with a quantity data analysis or in a qualitative data analysis that we might know, right? So in the case of qualitative data analysis, we have the software like NVO and Atlas. A lot of softwares are available, but I'm going to consider now only the quantitative based tools only, which are the quantitative free softwares are available. That I'm going to do the demo also. And see, we are familiar with this software. This software, I hope you might be familiar. SPSS, then our software or MATLAB or SES and CrapBed. And now if you are using the Microsoft 365, default some of the add-in software is coming for doing data analysis. So that is called Microsoft Excel. It's coming now. So these are the things we already experience it. But the problem here, the SP is a paid one. The R is a free one, but the R is purely based on the coding. Then MATLAB is a paid and SAS is a paid. Even the Microsoft Excel, we have to go. If you want to get a Microsoft Excel version, we have to go for this payment, like Microsoft Office of 2021 or Microsoft Office 365. And we can go for payment. So that is what I'm going to be highlight here. We must have some of the free software. So that software which I'm going to be listed out now, this are the software. So if possible, you can take a screenshot. The software name is called JASP, JSP. It is a free software. It's a graphical user interface. Look like a SPSS. What are things we are doing the SPSS? All the things we can do, even for the structural equation modeling, moderating analysis, everything is possible through the JASP. There is another tool is called Jomovi. This was another free software. And there is a software called OpenStat, SolStat 2 so far. Then PSBB. The PSBBs look like our SPSS interface only. The same interface, but they're providing a free software for us. Then StatText, then microseries, then Gnumeric and Tangro. So these are some of the tools which I listed here. Now what I'm going to do, just like to give you a small demo about the JASP and Jomovi. So in what way it may be helping to do the research, the calculations from our end. Just I'm going to do the small demo. Before that, just I'm going to tell you the homepage of the each tools. If you want to know more about the free software, just like to share my website link. So there you can find the plenty of resources. It might be helping for you. 1 minute. So there is my website name is called digigogi.com, digigogi.info, www.digigogi.info. Just like to share in the chat box also. So I'm sharing it chat box. Yes. So if you like to explore, kindly click this link. Once you click this link, you can find out the options for statistical resources. There is a page, special page. I kept it here as here, statistical resources. Once you click the statistical resources, you can find out the tool. One web page is called Digital Tool for Statistics. If you click here, Digital Tool for Statistics, you can find out the plenty of free softwares listed I kept here, like Jomovi, JASP, Blue Sky Statistics. Blue Sky Statistics is also another statistics. We can go with high-level calculations in the case of data analysis, or software. These are things which I already emphasized now previously. If you like to learn what is Jamovi, if you click the Jamovi, that link automatically direct to the Jamovi website. There's Jamovi website interface. See, this is for the download, directly it goes to the download view. This is a software. It may be available in all the cross platforms. If you are using the Windows, you can download this exe file. If you are the Mac OS, like Apple laptop, you can go with the DMG software. If you are the Linux or in a Chrome OS, you have to download the software. It is a software base. You have to download and install it. But the entire things are free. That is the advantage here. If you click the features, you can see the things about the tool. See, this is a tool. Jamovi provides a complete suite of analysis. You can do all the calculation, t-test, ANOVA calculation, all the things. And one more great things about this is the free software. That's the thing I like to emphasize. Even if you're very good to coding, you can modify the website, what is that, the software also. So normally the free open source software represent it available free, and parallelly anyone can what is it change or what is that they can add some kind of coding to modify the software and all. So if you like to contribute something to them as part of the development, you can go with this developer hub. So there you can have the tie-up and you can develop a new software and all. So it's totally so free. So after downloading, you have to install it. That is a one tool. The second tool which I like to focus on JSP. This tool link is available in my website also. If you click the JASP, it goes to the jasp.stat.org. So it automatically directly move into the download interface only, software interface. And only one conditions, while like to install this software in your laptop, particularly in the Windows, your Windows, it will be 64-bit. It won't be supported 32-bit software version of your laptop. If you're 64-bit, normally, if you're buying the laptop before 3 years or 2 years before, default your system may be 64-bit only. Then you can install the software. If you have Windows, you can use this. If you're Mac OS, you can install this. Even the Mac OS also they given these two options, because some of the previous laptop have the Intel. Now they develop your own OS that's called Apple Silicon. So based on this systems, you can install this. In the case of Linux or Chromebook, they give the different softwares, different software options. You have to download it. After download, kindly install it. Very simple process. If you want to know how to download and install it, because I already installed it, that's why I'm not able to do the demo. If you want to know how to install it, very simple task. Just you can download and click the particular software. It's asking to next. Just to go to the next. It may be over. If you want to know more about how to install it, go to the Jamovi software in my website, Jamovi software tutorial. There I'm giving the entire steps, how to download the software, how to install the software. All the calculation, it's already kept us here, what is it, self-explanatory material I posted here. Even if you're not able to follow me, you can refer my sites. It might be helping you a lot. Sorry. Yeah, so now I like to go once again the digital tools. There is another software called Blue Sky Statistics. This is also free software. You can go to the Blue Sky Statistics. Yeah, so if you like to download the software, you can download the software. And one more good thing, they regularly updating the software. See, the latest, recently, they updating the software in the month of March 2022. And it's totally free. Even this price options also available. Only the limited, even I'm using this Blue Sky Statistics. Even we can do the high level calculation meta, what is that, mediating analysis, everything we can use it directly from here. So you can try with this and Blue Sky Statistics. Then another one is our software that you knows. Okay, so if you click this, you can reach the our software, our project.org. So we have to download. And one more thing, we have to add lot of add-in, like addition software also you have to be add-in. And then only it may be working well, and you must know the basic coding for the error and all. This is another software link which I given now. And then another software is called GNU PSPP. It is a free software. It look like same like SPSS. The interface also look like SPSS. If you click the GNU PSPP, you can see that download view. This is a software, the interface of this. So see, the free software is the driving force that help you the major chance to meet our global internet. They're given some kind of things here. So if you like to download, you can download this. So they're given the different options, GNumeric, LibreOffice, So like this, you can download it. This is for that obvious software and all. There is a PSB download options are given. You can download and you can install it, right? The other one is called Sofa. It is look like a very colorful tool. The Sofa is a new open source software, SOFA. But it's also partially paid, but most of the features it will be available in a free basis also. It may be available both across platforms like Mac as well as the Windows, as, as well as the this kind of Linux and all. So that is the advantage, because most of the free software, it might helping for what is that, installing at any class platforms. So because each one's having the different voice platforms we have, so we can use any platform for this. Right now, can I move to the demo? If you're all are ready, if I like to share once again my website link, I will do this. I will share this, the exact link of this statistics which is available here. I'm sharing once again with the chat box. Yes. Hope my screen, my message came to you. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm just like to demo some of the statistics things to do my free software. So I am using regularly these two software, JASP as well as Jomo. JASP, it's a free, that's also Jomo is a free. So just first time I'm going to demo with JASP, then after that I move to the Jomo also. If you go to the JASP, this is JASP interface. Just like to open a new empty interface, then you can understand. All right. So if you like to open a new, I close this. I'm closing this. I'm opening a empty interface. I'm opening empty interface of JASP. Yeah. So this is a JASP interface. Once you open the JASP, you might get this kind of interface only. See the introduction. A fresh way of do statistics, free, friendly, and flexible, very friendly. So even if you're not much good in the statistics, you are not much about good in the computer, for them also is very simple, because you don't worry that much of user friendly. Now just I like to demo how to import the data. For example, I have some CSV file, because the Excel, the another, if you convert into CSV, then only in the JASP we can import the data. For importing the data, your file, your Excel file, you had to convert into CSV form. So once you click here, the three dots, the three lines, you can find the option called open, right? In the open, there is option called computer. So look like a SPSS, we are browsing, we are finding the particular location, we are opening the file now, the similar manner. And just to browse the file, once I go to the browse the file, it's asking to select the file. For example, I'm selecting one data sets which is available for me. I'm clicking the data sets as a open. So once I click open, now you can see the entire data sets is available. So here the data set, the first column is a sample, the gender, second column. Normally the column represent variable, row represent is a sample that we always know, that's called response. Sample, variable represent a column, each column is a variable. In the case of each row, we can call as a respondent or in the sample. See the gender, qualification, locality, management, college type, resident. These are my demographic variable. So these are my some of my study variable like study habits, achievement, and India. These are my study variable. Just like to do a small statistics for all of you. The descriptive statistics. Hope you know how to do a descriptive statistics in the SPS, right? Now you can see the way it will be different from the SPS to the software. Normally, in the case of SPS, there is a lot of toolbars are available. As well as there is a menu bar. Lot of menus are available. That menus always create confusion to us. Now you can see here the menus very limited. There is no menu. Instead of they given is a toolbar only. All the option you are finding is a tool. This is called toolbars, right? Descriptive, titles, ANOVA. These are the toolbars. But in the SPS, you can find the plenty of options. Sometimes it may be confusing also, right? But here, if I like to go with the descriptive statistics, I can click the descriptive. So once I click the descriptive, I can get a output interface. See the SPSS, there may be three interface, right? One is the data view, then variable view. The third one is the output view. There may be three view. But here, you can find everything in a same. For example, you like to see the data view, you can see the data view here. If you like to see the output view, you can see the output view. So there is no separate view. Everything we can merge in a single view itself. So that is a great opportunity here. Just like to do a, I'm going to do a small frequency analysis. Suppose I want to know the number of male and female in this particular data sets. If I click the gender, if I click this variable, if I import this into the gender variable, I can find the descriptive section. Normally, the gender is a categorical variable. So therefore, we could not go with this kind of mean and standard deviation. So what I'm going to do, just I'm click the frequency table, because in the case of categorical variable, the frequency analysis to be correct one. Therefore, I'm selecting the frequency table. Now we can see in the frequency table, once I click, automatically there is the output. Gender 1 represent male, 197 students. Then 2 females, 803. That's a percentage. Everything we can get, and there is no missing value. So altogether, the 1000 is my respondent. So like this, we can get a frequency analysis. Suppose I like to go with the locality. I can click the locality. So immediately I can get the locality table. So I may get the locality table. So like this, we can easy to get into this. Right? Suppose I like to close this. For example, I like to close this, right? So if I like to close this or remove all, I can remove all. So if I click remove all, then so I can do the one thing the calculation. So everything mechanism with us only. So here just like to minimize this. Yeah. So 1 minute, it's like a zooming now. Just I'm closing this and opening this. Yeah. So once again, I do the same process. Because unknowingly maybe zoomed now. Yeah, I moved to the JASP. Yeah, so this is the interface which I already shown. Now I like to open a data sets from here. The same data set which I opened previously that I'm opening now. Now the data are imported. I'm going to the descriptive. The previously I did a frequency analysis on it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a descriptive statistic like mean, median, mode, standard deviation, then quartile deviation, and percentage. These are things I want to find. Therefore, what I'm going to do, see here in the variable view, we can put the continuous variable. So that's why I put the steady habits as a continuous variable and putting the variable. Now you can see the split file. Normally, in the case of SPSS, if you put the, for example, in the case of independent summativity test, your dependent variable should be a continuous, your independent variable should be categorical, right? So, but if you're oppositely, if you put the data also, it may be recognized the SPSS. But here it's not possible. For example, if I like to import this achievement here, see, I'm trying to put the achievement here, it's not accepting the split file. It seems that the split file is only meant for these 3 data. See, the 2 icons they given. The 2 icons represent, one is called nominal data, the second one is called ordinal. This is a symbol for nominal, ordinal. This is nominal. That's kind of the circle, no, like a Venn diagram. It is called a, that symbol is called nominal. This kind of bar diagram represent a nominal. This scale, this kind of symbol is called as a continuous data. So like this, we can easy to know what kind of data or what kind of variable we can import it here. Therefore, in the split, we can adapt, we can use only the gender only. That's some kind of categorical variable only. That's why I put the gender. Now you can see this my software. So suppose I want to get the data. It's like vertically the answers may comes. I want to get as a vertical horizontal basis. I can put the transpose as descriptive like this. The tables might comes like this. So you don't like to see like this. If you like to go with the previous one, you can remove this. So like this, you can customize the output directly from here. And one more advantage, the output, it comes to the API 7th version. You don't need to be edit later. Just you can copy and paste into the Word file. So that is the advantage here. That is the advantage. So just you can copy and paste it to a Word file. Automatically, it comes as an API version. Now you can see some of the advanced feature which I like to show you. Suppose I like to do a plot diagrams, or I like to do some statistics now. If I click the statistics, I hope you're seeing down, there is a statistics option. Once I click the statistics, we can extend some of the options available here. So default, the mean, standard deviations only come. For example, in the center tendency, I want to find mode and median. Once you study the mode and median, you can find the mode and median immediately. Now, in the case of dispersion or the measures of variability, we have this much of variability options are available. Even sometimes we may the confusion whether the range is part of the variability or the measures of center tendency. We have the confusion, but here see, the given is a very clear hits. The center tendency, these 3. In the case of dispersion, this much of things are there. So which are the dispersion unit you have to select? For example, I like to find the variance. See, once I select the variance, the checkbox, automatically I have the variance score, 1143. Similarly, I like to go with the interquartile range. That is also Q2 minus Q1, interquartile range I want to know. If I click the IQR, I can get the IQR score, IQR. Suppose I want to find a range, I can click the range, automatically the range is coming. But in the case of SPSS, once you click, you may get the output. You cannot customize later. Suppose I want to add this table, but I don't need a IQR now. So just you can remove the IQR, automatically the IQRs may be removed from here. You can copy this table, you can paste in the Word file. So it's very simple. You can do the output customization directly from here. And see, there is another one, quartile. So that's called, let's say, first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, fourth quartile, or case of percentile, 25th percentile, 15th percentile, 75th percentile. No, if you want to find the quartile or a percentile, click the quartile. Once you click the quartile, automatically you can find the three quartile, 25th, 15th percentile, 17th percentile. Suppose you want to get the percentile of 10. You can just type the 10, you can get the percentile of 10. See the 10th percentile. So if you need to get the 20th percentile, you can get the 20th percentile. What percentile you want, we can easily get. Suppose I don't need a quartile, I don't need percentile, I need a cutoff for 4, 25th, 5th, and the same is nothing but a quartile only. The same thing might come. Suppose you want to find a skewness and kurtosis, you want to check the normality, then you can go with a skewness and kurtosis. So in the case of skewness, kurtosis 0.32 as well as the kurtosis minus 0.33. So if you look onto the both the score, it lies on the plus or minus 1.96. Therefore, in this case of further calculation, we can lead as a parametric statistics because somewhat it may very relate to the normality because the scores is less than 1 point plus or minus 1.96. Like this, we can conclude while using this kind of skewness and kurtosis. And there is a special calculation for the normality that we know, that is called as a Sapira-Wilk test. Suppose you want to know the Sapira-Wilk test features and all, what you have to do, you can click the Sapira-Wilk. Sapira-Wilk is meant for the normality analysis that you know, right? Once I click the Sapira-Wilk, you can see the Sapira-Wilks, the p-value. From this, we can check whether it will be normality or non-normality satisfying. So this is a much of descriptive, this much of descriptive statistics, it is free. Everything is free, but I'm just focusing which are the features are available now. Now I like to go with the plots, like I like to go with the descriptive statistics based diagram. So what I'm going to do, now I'm close the statistics, I move to the plots. There is a plot options. If we go to the plots, we can see the plots. In the plots, we have the different options. Distribution plots or correlation plots, but this is a categorical variable, sorry, continuous variable. Therefore, I like to go with the distribution plots. Once I click the distribution plots, you can see my output interface. So you can find out here the study habits, the entire diagram, male separately, female separately. I hope you are finding right. Male separate, female separate outputs is coming now. Suppose I want to get the normal in the above normal property curve I like to draw. So what you have to do, you have to click the display density. If you click the display density, automatically in the graph, it may be changed the discrete density. See the discrete density. Then further, suppose if you like to check the normality through the diagram representation, we can depend on the QQ plot, right? The QQ plot or box plot. Suppose I like to check the normality in a diagram base. So I like to go with the QQ plot. If I click the QQ plot, immediately I may get the QQ plots. So see the QQ plots. So the QQ plots in the diagonal line, most of the scores or lies are around the diagonal line. It is called as a normality. See this case, the case of female as well as the male, some kind of variations are, but most of the scores are near to the diagonal line. So it's partially satisfying the normality. Like that, we can come to the conclusion. So the QQ plot. There is another graph for the box plot. It's also for the normality. If I click the box plot, you can get the box plot also. See the box plot. So normally the box plot, it might helping to check the outliers, right? Checking the outliers. Suppose you want to know what is the exact outliers. You can you can change the color palette. Suppose you like to keep it a color graph, you can go with the color. Suppose you want to know the exact sample of the outlier, you can select the label outlier. You can find this outlier also. Now you can see the outlier. This is an outlier, right? So these are the outliers 72, 427. So once you remove this, we can automatically remove the outliers. And suppose I don't need this one. I like to go with the violin elements. How the scores are dispersed in the board. In the case of a box plot, I can go with the violin elements. See the graph, how it looking, and the jitter elements. So this is called jitter elements. Like this, we can make a very attractive diagram representation. Even these are the options are available in SPS, but if you want to do it, it's very complicated. We have to learn a lot of path to reach this graph and all. But it's very simple. Once you click, what are the diagram you need, you may get it. Suppose I don't need a graph for the box, just to remove the box plot. And automatically the box plot may be removed from here. See, the output not having the box plot. So what you want, just you can check, select the checkbox, you may get it, then copy and paste there. Suppose you want to copy the entire output into the Word document, what you have to do, you can go to the results. There is a copy option. Just you can copy, the entire output may copy and you can paste into a Word document. That is one option. The second one, if you want to download a PDF file, you can use the word export result. It automatically converts in PDF. See, I'm using this free software. It's same like SPSS, but all the features are available. And just I'm moving to the t-test, right? So I hope you understood how to do this. Just I'm going to close this because, yeah, I'm going to remove the output. Otherwise, it may lengthy output. Yes, now I'm moving to the t-test analysis. So generally the t-tests have the three types, right? That's we know: independent sample t-test, dependent sample t-test. The third one is called one sample t-test, right? So if you click the t-test, even it will be for the classical as Bayesian. If you are going with the Bayesian, normally we are adopting the classical. If you're having the Bayesian series theorem based, if you like to do, you can go with the Bayesian calculation. But now we are using a classical based only. The independent sample t-test, per sample t-test, and one sample t-test. Suppose I like to do a one independent sample t-test. So once I click the independent sample t-test, see this interface. So very simple. That is why it's not like, even compared to the previous, I was using the SPS only. I'm telling you, 4 or 5 years before I used the SPSS. But now it's very, what is that? The amount is so high. So now they need 1 lakh rupees. And if you need to get the latest version on the SPSS website, they're given only a, what is that? 28 out of 30 days of the free trial versions only, right? So that even on that link also I given my website. If you want to download the free software, free, I mean, it's not a free, it's a trial version of SPSS. You can find my link from this. You can find it from there. Yeah, so there is a question. I will give the answer finally. There is a question, sir, can you explain the small sample for factor analysis? Madam, when you go with the factor analysis, the first things it may checking the, what is that? Whether the your sample size is to be adequate. That is the first thing we have to check it, right? For this also, there is a separate calculation we have to do. Without the sample adequate, we cannot go with the further calculation of factor analysis. So that I will explain when you come to the factor analysis. Right. So if you go to the t-test, I'm going to the independent sample t-test. If you go to the independent sample t-test, there is the independent variable. See, when you go to the independent sample t-test, we need a 2 variable. One is independent, one is a dependent. Now, see, it's very simply we can easy to realize here, but in the SPS is very complicated. Sometime in the case of dependent variable, if you put the gender, in the SPS output may comes. But here I try to put the gender. You can see what happened. It may recognizing, but what showing here, your data set should be this format. This is an image. Therefore, you have to be import the data which is here continuous. Therefore, dependent variable should be continuous in the case of independent sample t-test. So we can easy to find from here. Then if you click the study habits, I put it here. And the grouping variable should be category. That is our independent variable. It may be gender or qualification. So suppose I selected the gender and put it here. Now see here, there is output. So very simple output. See, there is the output. It comes now. Study habits 0.650. The negative value won't be taken, and the degrees of freedom 998, and the p-value is 0.516. It seems that it is not significant, right? P-value is showing this not significant. And one more thing, in the case of SPSS, the latest version 26, 27 only, the effect size is there. The effect size calculation like Kogan's value and all. But in the case of the old version of SPS, there is no effect size. But here, they're given a separate effect size. Once I click the effect size, we can find the different effect size like a Cohen's, class delta, and HG. So this much of effect size are they provide is a free. One more thing, particularly the effect size is meant for the experimental method. I don't know how many of them you are doing it. So while doing experimental method, kindly use this kind of tool because it's automatically showing the Cohen's value. And one more thing, and it testing whether suppose you like to go with a one-tail test or a two-tail test. So according to the hypothesis, if you're taking a direction hypothesis, you can do the one-tail test. If you're raising the direction non-direction, you can go with the two-tail test, right? That is we knows. But in the SPSS, for finding that option is very difficult. But here, see, there is hypothesis itself they given here. The first one is called non-direction hypothesis, called alternate hypothesis. Group 1 not equal to group 2. So if you're selecting this one, the report is comes for the two-tail test. Suppose that I'm doing the experimental method. I thought that the control group is better than the experimental group, or experimental group better than the control group. Like this, I made some kind of direction hypothesis. So for the direction hypothesis, you can use this one. So now if I click the direction hypothesis, you can see there is a Levens test calculation. Everything comes. Therefore, we can select directly from here whether you like to go with a one-tail test or two-tail test. Everything we can define from here. And next thing, suppose you like to find the descriptive statistics like mean, standard deviation, you can click the descriptive. There is a separate table for the descriptive. Male 197, female, mean SD and DSC. And other than that, see in the left side, you are finding the test. So see, in the case of SPSS, if you like to do the t-test, you can do only the t-test one. You could not do parallelly with the non-parametric because the t-test is parametric, right? But the equivalence of the non-parametric test in the case of independent sample t-test is called man-with test. That I hope you knows, right? See here, even the layman, even if you're not at all good for the statistics, right? Don't worry. If you're using the tool, you may get some clarity. Why? In the sense, if you go to the independent sample t-test, automatically telling that there is a 3 tests, right? One is a student t-test, that's called independent sample t-test. Then one is called Belk. So normally the Belk test for the normal. So in the case of SPS, we are going to check the Levens test, no? Levens test is represent for the checking the homogeneity variance, non-homogeneity variance. Suppose if it the variance what is that? Its variances happen, you can go with the Belks. If it is non-variances, it can go with the student t-test. Suppose my data set's very small, it's not satisfying the normality. I like to go with the parameter, non-parametric. Just to click the man-with. So now you can see the man-with options, W. So even I went for the path of the t-test, but I'm generating a what is that? Man-with U test, man-with U test. Now see here, suppose I want to find all the 3. So I get the 3 outputs in a single table. Student t-test 0.650, Wells test 0.594, and man-with test it's 75,824. It's called non-parametric. So we can do parallelly parametric and non-parametric. But in the case of SPSS, we can go with a different path for the non-parametric. You cannot do the same path while doing a t-test with the non-parametric, but here it's possible. And see the other option. Suppose I like to go with a normality check. I can pick the normality. I can get the normality. That is called the Shifra-Wilk. No? Shifra-Wilk test is normality test is available. Suppose you want to check the Levens test of the equality of variance. You can give the equality variance on Levens. See the Levens, right? And suppose you like to go with your diagram representation of this data set. Go with your descriptive plots. You may get the diagram representation also, right? Suppose you want to go with the rain cloud. Rain cloud is a very attractive. Even a single diagram consists of all the diagrams. See here, I'm just going with the rain clouds. The rain cloud, you can find the both male and female. Male is here green color, female is orange color. And see, this is for the box plot. This is for the normality. So all the 3 graphs, it comes a single graph that's called rain plots. It's a very unique graph here. Rain cloud. So if you're adding this kind of thing, your thesis may be very attractive. Your dissertation wants to be attractive. So a single graph consists of all the 3. Like what is that? Like a bar diagram is coming parallelly. What is this? This kind of box plot graph, and parallelly you may get the normality graph also. So like this, we can go with the independent sample t-test. But if you like to go with the post sample t-test, we can do with this, but I don't have a what is that experimental group data. So because I'm having this survey method data, that's why I'm not able to the post sample, but I'd like to show the interface. If you go to the post sample t-test, you have the interface like this. For example, you have the two tests, for example, pre-test and post-test. Please kindly consider the study habit is a pre-test. For example, you can put the pre-test, the achievement may be a post-test, means you can put the pre-test and post together. The study habit is a pre-test, this is a post-test. So I'm putting wrong here, but generally we can use the post sample test only for the experimental method. But I don't have data set, that's why I'm explaining through my survey data sets. But here it may be pre-test, this may be a post-test, then we may get the scores. And one more thing, see here, just I'm removing this because doing things wrong is not good. Now there is a Wilcoxon sign rank test. What is called Wilcoxon sign rank test? Any idea? Per sample t-test is for the post sample t-test, right? Sorry, per sample t-test is for the parametric statistics. For the equivalent of the non-parametric statistics is nothing but Wilcoxon sign test. Wilcoxon sign test. Suppose your data set is not checked, come to the normality, you can go with this Wilcoxon sign test. It is good, right? Similarly, if you like to go with the one sample t-test, suppose normally the one sample t-test, we can go with comparing the means of the sample with the population. For example, I'm doing for the data set for example only, but it's not correctly I'm doing. For example, there is the achievement of the 12th standard. I'm putting here. The mean score is 222. So I got the population score for 4 years before or the last year, the 12th result, the mean score is coming 200, for example, 200. I'm giving the test value is 200. That's called population mean score. Or 210. 210 for the population mean score. My sample means 222. So now what we are going to compare? We are comparing the mean of the sample in the with the population mean. That is called as a one sample t-test, right? So here, once I put the 210 as a population mean, I can get the t-scores. You can get the t-score. Now you can see the t-score. Sorry, now just like that is not t-score. So just like to go with the descriptive first, then only I can know the mean score. Sorry, the mean score is 75. So I put wrongly. The study habit is only 210. So suppose I fix the population mean in the previous year is 80 population mean. My sample mean 75. 75 is the sample mean. Just I'm comparing whether there is a significant difference between the population mean and sample mean. For this, I'm doing the one sample t-test. Once I click here, you can see the answer minus 12.01. You can take only magnitude value and p-value is less than 0.001. It seems it's a significant at 0.01 level as well 0.05 level. So like this we can find. Suppose you like to go with the effect size, you can go with the effect size. If you like to go with rain cloud plots, you can go with the rain cloud plots, you can get the graph. So for all the things, very user-friendly this one. Just I'm moving to the ANOVA and ANCOVA. ANOVA, you know, one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA, three-way ANOVA, four-way ANOVA, or the factorial ANOVA, right? So there's all the ANOVA, we can use it the same path. If you click the ANOVA, but even the case of SPSS, sometimes you may have the what is that confusion, because normally the one-way ANOVA is available in the mean score, mean comparisons. So if you click the analysis, there's a mean comparison only. You can find out the independent sample t-test, post sample t-test, one sample t-test along with one-way ANOVA. But here they put the different category. Descriptive means can go to descriptive. T-test means can go to t-test. This is for the ANOVA. Like this, they put the different categorizations of this. Right now, what I'm going to do, if I want to do a ANOVA now, so for this, if you like to go with a one-way ANOVA, two-way ANOVA, three-way ANOVA, all the ANOVA it comes to the this ANOVA only, right? If you click the ANOVA, you can see this dependent variable. The dependent variable is a continuous. See this icon? It's a continuous. So suppose I like to go with the study habits, my dependent variable. My independent variable, I like to keep as a management. So because the management only having the three things on, just like to put the management. Now you can see there is a table of ANOVA. So the management, it's called between group. Normally in the case of SPSS, we may get the between group and within group, right? But here automatically comes the what is that output like this. Between group, instead of between group, they put the name management. The residual is nothing but the within group. So see the degrees of freedom, the mean score and the F score and the p value. So everything's to be highlighted here. The p score is highlighted as a significant, right? The p score is significant at 0.01 level. Once it's significant, we like to go with a post-hoc tech. That's we knows, right? So just like to go with the post-hoc also. So before that, I like to know the descriptive. So I can give the descriptive statistics. I want to know the mean of the three groups: management, government, aided, self-finance. There is a mean is available, and very great feature that is called effect size, because this tool, all the effect size to be incorporated here. That is one of the main benefit while using this tool. If I click the estimate of effect size, so see that effect size. So there is the effect size. So I'm putting the effect size. And if I go with the effect size, there is a neta square or partial neta square or omega square or omega square. So you can go with any square, right? Um, all the three is talking about the effect size only, but normally we are using neta square, right? Partial neta square also. Sometimes we may use the omega square, which you want, you can select this, right? That's up to us only. Now see, now our data set showing that our analysis showing that there is a significant. Now I want to do a post-hoc. So in the case of SPS also there's post-hoc options are there, but here also there is a separate option post-hoc test. See, post-hoc. Once I click the post-hoc, so it asking to select the variable management. I am putting here. After this, it's showing that the type of the different post-hoc, right? So generally we are using the key test, right? Based on the sample is more, I can go with the key. And if you have the different sets of group, for example, male and female is not equal, you can go with the key or survey also. Sometimes we can go the bone for a name. So the three things only we are using regularly in the case of post-hoc. But normally I am using a say the key. So here I'm selecting all the three. You can see all the three outputs comes here. So all the three outputs comes here. The key score, this for the survey, this for the bond for any. So all the things talking about the 1 and 2 having the significant difference, then 2 and 3 having the significant difference, but 1 and 3 not having the significant difference. So we can easily to find out from the p-value of the key, survey, and the bond. Suppose I like to go with a diagram. There is the option descriptive plots. You can go to the descriptive plots. Suppose you like to go with horizontal bar, you can get this graph also. So there is a 1, 2, 3, the mean score comparisons is available here. Suppose you want to show the display error mean, you can go to the display error box. We can find out the errors also. Suppose this, if you go with the rain cloud plots, you can go to the rain cloud. It is looking, no, it's looking good. That's why I'm going to the rain cloud plot. If you like to go with the horizontal, this is a display. If you like to go with the horizontal display, you can go with the horizontal display. Automatically, the display might changes on horizontal. It is looking good, right? So you have to check because we can use to customize the output also. But in the case of the SPSS, for customizing the output is very difficult. So you have to convert into Word and you have to edit from that. But here, what are things you want, you can select. What are things you don't like, you can just remove it. And you can copy the final output and you can paste it at anywhere. So that is one of the great features while using this kind of tool. Now, we did only the one-way ANOVA, right? So can I move to the two-way ANOVA? If you all are ready. So in the case of one-way ANOVA, the condition to one-way ANOVA, we have one dependent variable, one independent variable, right? So we have only one fixed factor that is called independent variable. Therefore, it's called one-way ANOVA. If one more independent variable, if I imported here, then it's called two-way ANOVA because we have the two independent variable, one dependent variable. Then it is called two-way ANOVA. So that's two-way ANOVA. Normally, the two-way ANOVA, we have the different tables. See, the table automatically might change here. Suppose because the previous finding also may confusing. Just I like to go with the new findings. Because a lot of findings may confusing you. Just I'm going to the remover. I'm going freshly the two-way ANOVA now. ANOVA. I'm keeping a steady habits as a dependent variable. Then management as one-way ANOVA. Then I'm putting the gender also. Now we can see management and gender. It is my two independent variable. And the steady habits. Generally, it is how we can frame the hypothesis. There is no significant effect of management and gender, and its interactions on the steady habit. Like this, we may frame the hypothesis. Actually, in this hypothesis, we have the two main effects. One is called management effect, other one is called gender effect. The third one is called interaction effect. So everything should be fancy. The first one, FL, is called management effect. It's called main effect. The second one is a main effect of gender. management is a significant difference, but in the gender not having significant difference. The third one, the third column, row, is talking about the interaction effect, how the management and gender together may have an effect on the study habits. So in this case, the together it making a significant difference. Therefore, the interaction effect also there. Like that, we can easy to find from there. Suppose I like to go with the three-way ANOVA, I can pick the locality also. Now it's a three-way ANOVA. Why? In the sense because I have the three independent variable now. So the number of independent variable increasing, that is equal to the factor. So if it is 4 independent variable, then it's called 4-way ANOVA. If it one independent variable, it's called 1-way ANOVA. That we knows, right? So that is where you can look on this, because the qualification is not having the proper data. It's not be having the interaction. That's why showing is a red color mark. So now I did the 3-way ANOVA. So the 3-way ANOVA, we have the 3 interaction effect. We have the 3 main effect: management, gender, and locality. 3 interaction effect also. Then along with the total interaction effect. So management, gender 1, management, locality 1, second, gender and locality 3rd, and finally management, gender, and locality. Therefore, there may be a 4 interaction effect and 3 interaction effect. The tables might comes here. So this is for the 1-way ANOVA, 2-way ANOVA, 3-way ANOVA. Everything we can go with this ANOVA path itself. Then if you need the effect size, you can know this effect size that we did in the ANOVA, the same format. Suppose you like to go with the postdoc, you can go with the postdoc. The postdoc is possible only for the management. Suppose you like to go with the gender, this interaction also, if you like to go with this, you can go with this. You can get the different postdoc output might be. This is a different postdoc outputs are there. So I hope you don't have doubt in the ANOVA. Now I'm moving to the ANCOVA. So I hope he knows what is called ANCOVA. Normally in the ANCOVA, we need minimum 3 variables: 1 independent variable, 1 dependent, 1 what is that intervening variable, or sometimes we may call as a extraneous variable, right? There's 3 variables might need. So generally we can use the ANOVA for covariates, particularly for experimental method. If you want to control the 3rd variable effect, then you can go with this kind of covariant analysis. So for this, we can use the ANCOVA. So, but the covariant should be a continuous variable. So I'm going to the ANCOVA. So once you click the ANCOVA, you are getting the different table. I hope you are seeing the different table. But see, there is a difference between the ANOVA and ANCOVA. In the ANOVA, we have only the dependent variable and fixed factors only. But now the new box is called covariate. No covariate. For example, I'm taking as achievement as a dependent variable because I like to check whether the achievement having any effect on the management, right? I'm checking this. But sometimes the management, no, so the covariate, right? The study habits also might influence on the achievement. There is a chance because based on study habits, the achievement might change. I want to check after nullifying the effect of the study habits into the achievement. I want to know exactly how the management may affect on the achievement. For this, I can use this kind of ANCOVA techniques. For this, I'm selecting the study habits. I'm putting this covariates. Now you can see achievement is a dependent variable. I'm keeping 1 independent variable as management, and I'm keeping 1 covariate as a continuous. So what it means, I'm going to control the effect of study habits into the achievement. And I'm going to check after controlling the effect of the study habits. I have to check exactly how the management may affect the achievement. That is the way do the ANCOVA. Once I did this ANCOVA, we may get this output. See this output, that down ANCOVA output, right? Management, it is having a significant difference. Study habits not having significant difference. After controlling this effect also, after controlling the study habits, the management having a significant effect on the achievement. Like this, we can easily get the conclusion. And how much they affect. For this, you can go with the estimate effect size. So the percentage of the effect is 2.3%. It seems that your management may affect on the, so you can multiply by the 100 means it comes to 2.3, right? So our management, it may be affected 2.3% into the dependent variable. So like this, we can get the conclusion about this. Now there's another things like omega square, partial eta square. These all things are available. So if which you want, you can go with this, right? And there is another one, postdoc. Suppose you like to go with the postdoc. These are the things which already discussed in the previous ANOVA itself. The same features are available because statistics is it's like a ozone, right? like a ocean. Lot of things are there. If you want to explore, you have to explore from your end. Suppose I like to go with the rain cloud diagram. I can go with the management and study habits as separate plats. Right. Yeah. So now we can see this graph. Yeah. Now we can see this. Suppose I like to keep the study habits here. No, this is a variable only for the categorical only. So for this only it may be okay. Now we can see this graph. Right. So suppose you like to go with the non-parametric. For example, you want to know the equivalence of the ANCOVA non-parametric. Go with the non-parametrics. You can find the equivalence called Kruskal values, right? The Kruskal values is here opposite, direct opposite of the parametric. So Kruskal values is here non-parametric. Suppose your data set's not satisfying the normality, we can go with the Kruskal values. This is all things I hope it knows. So suppose I want to go with the Kruskal values. Just you can put this data, you may get the Kruskal values analysis report. You can get the Kruskal values. The Kruskal values is a non-parametric, right? And now I am moving to the suppose when I did here so this is called one-way ANCOVA because I put only one independent variable. Suppose I like to keep it gender, then it is called, any idea? So what I did, what is the calculation? So please, anyone can type here chat box. Just I'm giving you a small clue. Now I'm keeping a one dependent variable and two independent variable and one covariate. Then what kind of statistics I'm adopting now? I request the people kindly give the answer in the chat box if possible. Exactly, it's ANCOVA. I'm doing the ANCOVA. I want to know whether it's a one-way ANCOVA or two-way ANCOVA or three-way ANCOVA. What kind of ANCOVA? It is ANCOVA. Damn sure it's ANCOVA. So I want to know the exact ANCOVA name. Is it one? Exactly. Thank you, Unil. It's a two-way ANCOVA. Why is a two-way ANCOVA? Because you have the two independent variables, right? Right. Suppose I am putting the intelligence. So I'm putting the intelligence. So the independence is a covariate, right? Intelligence a covariate. Then can I know what is it? What is that ANCOVA? This one? What is the ANCOVA? What is kind of ANCOVA? Because I'm keeping the two covariate now. I'm keeping two covariate. What maybe it's also two-way. It's also two-way. So the two-way and three-way depends on the independent variable. The two-way and three-way depends on the independent variable, not related to the covariant. Covariant may be one or more. That's not an issue. But at least one covariant should be there in the case of ANCOVA. Without covariant, you cannot go with ANCOVA. So that is a thing you must be aware of it. Suppose I'm putting the qualification here. What might be? If I put the qualification, what it might be? What the calculation I'm doing now? What is this? So what kind of calculation? I'm keeping the three independent variable now. Yeah, exactly. Deepak Chaugan are correct and Ramachandran sir is correct. It's a three-way ANCOVA. It's a three-way ANCOVA. Thank you so much. Actually, if you want to highlight exact in the case of factor ANOVA, that is called factor ANOVA. Kindly see my chat box. So in the case of factor ANOVA, we can tell this name is called factor way. It is called 3x2 factor ANOVA. Do you know why it's called 3x2 factor ANOVA? It's called actually it's a two-way ANOVA, but when you highlight the exact name, we can tell it's a 3x2. Any idea? Any idea why it's called 3x2? Yeah, no, Anisha. I am keeping only the two independent one. Now I'm keeping only two independent. But these two independent, two-way independent may call us a 3x2 because see the management having the three groups like government aided self-finance. Therefore, the first independent variable having the three factors, right? Having three factors. What about the second group, gender, having the two factors? So that is called male and female, right? Therefore, the first management having three factors, the second gender having the two factors. Therefore, it's called 3x2 factor ANOVA. 3x2 factor ANOVA. Kindly look on these are things you must be aware of it. Okay. Suppose I'm keeping the locality, for the localities like rural urban, then this is called 3x2 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 okay, because there is a three independent, right? The first independent having three groups, the second independent having the two groups, the third independent having the two groups. Therefore 3x2 right? This is called factor ANOVA. So factor ANOVA is different and factor analysis differ, so don't confuse with this. Factor ANOVA means how many factors in the each independent variable. Exactly, Rajamani sir is correct. So 3x2, right? Yes, just I like to go with this. Yeah, Manava. So I hope you knows what is called Manava. Manava, Mankova, everything we can do it here. In the case of Manava, we need minimum 2 dependent variables. Please kindly note. In the case of Manava or t-test, the main condition that your dependent variable only one. That's called univariate analysis. So when you keeping as only one dependent variable, we can go with the t-test or ANOVA. But if you have the 2 dependent variable, if the dependent variable are increasing more than one, we can go with the Manava or Mankova only. That is why you can see the dependent variable. Just I like to show. In the case of ANOVA, the dependent variable box is very small, and there is a dependent variable is a singular also. See this dependent variable. This was ANCOVA. If I go to the ANOVA, there also the dependent variable is singular. Dependent variable is singular. It seems that only one dependent only we can go with this kind of thing. Suppose I'm moving to this MANOVA. You can see the MANOVA dependent variables, right? So it is not a dependent variable. It seems we need at least 2 dependent variables needed. So that is the basic condition for doing a MANOVA or MANCOVA. You need at least 2 dependent variables needed. Suppose I like to keep study habits and achievement as my 2 dependent variable. I'm keeping as a dependent variable. Right? I'm keeping the fixed factor as a gender. So this is called one-way MANOVA. Why it's called one-way MANOVA? Any idea why it's called one-way MANOVA? Because only one fixed factor, one independent, and I have the 2 dependent variables. Therefore, it's called one-way MANOVA. So MANOVA means multivariate. Multivariate represent at least you have here 2 dependent variables needed. And here, the table value we can talking about the Pillai's. So there is a test Pillai. From this only we have to do. If you go to the model, additional informations, it is not a F score. Instead of a F score, it comes here as a Pillai's test or Wilks test or ROI. So this much of test is available when you go into MANOVA. This much of things are need for the MANOVA. So what you have to do, but my suggestion better to go with the Pillai's or Wilks. Both is enough. So because the report, the answer may be same one. If you go with the Pillai's or the test, the answer may be same only. See the Pillai's 0.99. In the case of Wilks, it's called 0.010. And see the p-value. Both the p-values look like the same. Both the p-value should be same. So there is a question. Why do we need a measures of effect size? There is a question from Vidya Sagar, sir. Sir, for example, I'm doing the experimental method. There is an experimental method. I am doing a control group experimental treatment, right? So once I do the control group experimental group comparisons, I like to do a t-test. I'm doing it for some t-test. Like I'm checking the control group posters and the experimental group posters. So I make it that there is a significant difference in the posters. So I found that there may be significant. It seems that the experimental group is better than the control group. Now we have to tell how your treatment is effective. You are statistically in the t-test may give only there is a significant difference. Then finally we are checking that the mean is from the mean we are telling that experimental group is better than the mean. Experimental group is better than the control group. We are telling only the differences only. But if you want to check or you want to highlight the exact percentage or how your treatment is effect, whether the effect is to be large effect or a medium effect or in a small effect, for this we can do the effect size. The effect size calculation only for the experimental method, particularly you are taking any treatment. So whether your treatment, whether it creates some large effect or a small effect or medium effect, for this we are using, sir. I hope Vidya sir, I hope you understood. It's only for the experimental method, particularly to check the effect size of your treatment. Because the t-test we cannot find this. The t-test we can find only the significant differences. We can check whether the control group is better or the experimental group is better, but we cannot know how your treatment is the effect. So for this we can go with this kind of effect size calculations normally. All the effect size calculations meant even in the case of regression, there is the effect size that is called. We can use the called as a R-square value. So that is called how the independent variable may contribute depending on how much percentage it may share. That is called even for each calculation we are using it, but in the name of different means. That's the difference. Yeah, sorry, I just to move to the other one. So there is a tool called Pillai's and Wilks test. So in the case of Wilks test as well as the Pillai test, both is significant. Both is significant means the gender make an influence or make an effect on both the study habits and achievement. This is the answer. So here what it means, the gender make an effect on the both study habits and achievement. That is the report is coming here. Suppose I like to check with the other variable, gender. Now this is called this is called as a two-way maneuver. So now we can see the two-way maneuver because I put the two independent variables. So here you can find out here two main effect, gender effect, qualification. In the case of gender and qualification, there's a significant difference. In the case of interaction effect of gender as well as the qualification also, it's also interaction effects. Like this, you may have the interaction effects. So that is the way we have to control, right? Yeah, so hope you might know what is maneuver and Markova. So now I move to the regression analysis. In the case of regression analysis, this path you can having both the correlation and linear regressions, both is available. Even if you like to go with the logistic regression, also available. Even if you look onto the SPSS, you can find a different path for the logistic regression. You might have the confusion when you can do the logistic and but here, see here, in the case of regression, first I am going to do the attempt of the correlation. See, I click the correlation. So once I click the correlation, it asks me the two variable. And see here, it's you can easy to understand the variables. They put the two variables, a plural, right? Therefore, we can put two variables. For example, I like to keep study habits and achievement as a study variable. So I'm going to check the different relationship between the study habits as well as the achievement. And in the case of study habit and achievement, you can see this output. This is an output. It is same output of APA. Please kindly note. This is a great output. Even the SPS, you may get all the boxes may be filled, but here you can get the exact API output, because normally the correlation table, the diagonal, above diagonal should be empty. Only the diagonal only you have to fill it. Suppose I like to go with the intelligence. If I click the intelligence, you can see the top, the diagonal should be empty, right? Only the down is you have this course, and we can see the p-value. So the study habit and achievement not significant, and study habits and the intelligence having significant, and study habits and achievement not significant. Like this, we can get these things, right? So, and this is called normally we may call as a Pearson powder moment correlation, right? Suppose I'm just moving this intelligence and putting the intelligence condition on. Anyone can give the answer for this. What is this one? I am putting this condition on intelligence and variables of study habits and achievement. What is the correlation this is? So what is the what kind of correlation? Any idea? So I'm keeping the variables box in the two variables, study habits and achievement. In the condition, I'm putting the intelligence. Do you know what kind of correlation is this? It is called partial correlation. It is called partial correlation. Exactly. Thank you, Marilyn Kokila. Exactly. It's called partial correlation. Because look like ANCOVA, we are reducing the effect of the third variable. No? Similarly, we are removing the third variable effect of intelligence. So here I like to remove the third variable effect. That's why I'm putting the intelligence as a third variable. I like to eliminate, and finally I check whether study habits and achievement have a significant difference. So from this table, after eliminating, I came to know that the p-value is 0.92. What it means? It is not significant. Therefore, after controlling this intelligence, the study habit and achievement not at all any significant relationship. So that is the things we can find. Right. So now I'm moving to the regression analysis. That's called linear regression. Once I go to the linear regression, this is a path. So see the linear regressions. The another basic condition you can look on this. The basic condition, the number of dependent variable in the linear regression. Do you know how many dependent variable? Sorry, how many dependent variable? Do you have any idea? How many dependent variable we can use for the regression analysis? No, sir. Please kindly see these dependent variable. It is a singular or plural. It is singular or plural. It is singular or plural. Kindly check. Yeah, thank you, Merlin, sir. So Deepik Saugam, thank you. So actually, the main condition to apply a regression analysis, even some of the students know in my student, they unknowingly they're doing the regression analysis when they're having the two dependent variable. It's not at all possible. If it having only one dependent variable, then only we can go with here. This kind of regression analysis. But the independent variable, there is no limit. You can go with 1, 2, 3. If you go with only one independent variable, it is called linear regression. right? If you go with a more independent variable, it is called as a multiple regression. That's only the difference, right? But dependent variable should be what? For example, achievement may be dependent variable. That's why I'm keeping the achievement as a dependent variable. I'm keeping as a steady habits my factor. So steady habits my covariate, right? So how the steady habits may contribute to the achievement. That's my. So here, how we can make the hypothesis means there is no significant contribution of steady habits into the achievement. So therefore, the steady habits is here independent variable. Then achievement is a dependent variable, right? So once I put it here, you can see this here. This is here regression analysis. Look like a same like SPS because the SPS also we may get the three tables. Here the R square value is called normally it's called as the effect size in the case of here. So here the effect is very low, so 0% only. And see the model fit also not significant. Therefore, there is no model fit means we don't need to look onto the down table. So there is no need to see. So this particular data set, it's not add for the regression analysis, automatically showing this. Suppose I like to change this variable, intelligent, I like to put it here. We can see what happened. Yeah, now you can see even the intelligent also, my data set is not correct. Okay, that is why it happened like this. In the p value, it is 0.75. Therefore, there is no model fit. Therefore, no need to look on this down. And the R square value is 0. So it's not correct. And there is the different methods of that. Suppose I like to go with the enter method or a background method or a forward method. Any method we can go with this. Suppose I like to go with the step-based method, I can go with the step-based method. This was the backward method. But maximum we are doing the enter method only. So even in the case of if I put the gender in the factors, because the factor like a categorical variable, you can put it here on in the factors only. This is called as a multiple regression because we have the two independent like intelligent and gender and locality also I'm keeping here and management also. So therefore here what it happened, I have the 4 independent variable. Now it's called multi-factor regressions, multi-regressions here. And see here, our R square. So now the H1, it's come 0.31. Somewhat it will be little bit contribute and your ANOVA table also significant. It's showing that the model fit is satisfying. Then finally you can see this beta value. This is called unstandard, that is called beta value. Then we can frame the hypothesis. That is, there's a formula for the regression equation y equal to x plus b. So similarly, we can write the equation achievement test equal to the B1 of intelligence plus B2 of gender plus B3 of locality plus B4 of management plus constant value. Like that, we can make it as some equation formula after executing the this kind of regression analysis. Right. Next, I'm moving to the this factor analysis. So before the factor analysis, first you must know the reliability, right? So first, I like to import the data sets. Then only we can go because these are data sets. It's purely based on this one, right? What is that? It's like a survey method. Now I like to import here another data sets of the some item analysis based to things I like to import. So I can finish sharply within 5 minutes. Sorry. So now I import a new data sets. Now I import a new data set. It is a data set for the item analysis. There is a item. There is how many items are there? There may be items of 50 items are available. Now what I'm going to do first, I'm going to do the reliability analysis. So once you go with the reliability analysis, we can do a reliability analysis like a Kronberg alpha. Therefore, I'm doing the unidimensional reliability. So I'm selecting all the items here, all the 50 items here, 50 items, and put it here. So once I put here, we can find the scores here. So the analysis, I like to go with this one, right? Which one? I check here whether all. Yes, so here I like to go with this one, all right, Kronberg alpha. If I click the Kronberg alpha, I can get the Kronberg alpha value. See here, the Kronberg alpha value is 0.92. 0.92 means it is a very reliable. It's like a consistency. The tool is very consistent. Even you can go with this. But even though I like to go with some kind of item analysis, for this I'm going with the Kronberg alpha if item data. This is called item analysis. If I click the Kronberg alpha if item drop there, so there is already I have the Kronberg alpha value is 0.927. It is called reliability. So I have to cross check whether any item which is more than 927, if you remove it, that we have to remove it. So here the item 1 accepted, item 2 is accepted. Like this, I can see which are the items are retained, which are the item to be removed. See, there is item 19. If I remove the item, my reliability score, it moved to the 9 to 8. Just I'm going to check now. So now I'm going to remove the item number 19. So I'm removing the item number 19. So I'm removing the item number 19. Now you can see the new table. In this table, my Cronbach alpha is 0.92. Similarly, I'm going to check whether any item, yeah, there is item number 34, item number 33. If I remove it, I may get the 9.34. So like this, you can remove the value more than that. So I'm just trying here 33 also. So you have to remove the item which is more than that, right? So just I'm removing. Now you can see this, what is this, Cronbach is 0.934. This is the way we can do the item analysis. And if you like to go with the factor analysis, there is a factor analysis, confirmatory factor analysis, explorative factor analysis, and principal component matrix. But just like to go with the principal component very fastly. So here I'm just to go with principal component to all the 50 items. So I'm selecting all the 50 items here. And import here. Yeah. So 1 minute, just yes. So I'm going to confirmatory because I go with the exploratory. Because unknowingly I may select here. So I select all the items, which is to the 50. 1 minute. Yeah. Yes, I'm selecting and importing here. What happened? Yeah, the problem. It's yeah. So there is a problem with the set data sets. I have to modify it. One thing, I can do the same thing in other software because there is a CSV form. It will not be recognizing directly. So this final demo. So this is a Jamovi software I'm using now. There is a software called Jamovi. The same kind of SP, the JAS which I demo, no, the same thing, right? So because sometimes the data sets, if you are not keeping a proper data sets, while importing, it won't be recognized. Now you can see I'm going to the structural equation modeling through this software. This is a software called JAMA. It's also free software. The entire software is free. So just I'm opening data sets from here, item analysis data sets. So I'm just opening data sets, those. I'm opening a item analysis data sets. So I'm opening this, right? So now the data sets important is JAMA software, right? Now I'm going to the yeah, frequencies. Yeah, the regulation factor. Yes, factor analysis. I'm going with the exploratory factor analysis. So in the exploratory factor analysis, I'm selecting the domains, all the items here, and import here. Now you can see I imported all the things, right? So you may get the uniqueness and factor loadings to be read. And I got the 3 factors. I got the 3 factors based on the what is that? Based on that eigen value. The eigen value, if you keep it as a 1, so greater than 1, if you're keeping, we can see how many. Suppose I'm keeping as a eigen value 1. So it's showing that the number of factors loading through the exploratory, it's 8 factors are loading. There is 8 factors are loading. So now from the 8 factor, I can check this. And there is a question, madam, asking whether how we can check the sampling adequacy, right? Normally, in the case of factor analysis, we can do the sample adequacy. For this, there is a tool, there is a test called KMO measures of sampling adequacy. This is a calculation, sampling adequacy test. Once you did this, you can get the separate output. The output should having more than 0.6, that scores might be. Then there's a Patlet test of sparsity. These are 2 things you have to do. Now you can see the Patlet test, it's showing that even it's degrees of freedom 1, 2 to 5, but it's not applicable for the sparsity because the items, the sample size is not good. That's why we cannot go with the factor like this. It's giving this. So we can ensure before going for any kind of factor analysis whether your data sets to be satisfying. For this, we can go with the party test of sparsity as well as KMO. And suppose if you go with a different, in the case of factor analysis, there is a different rotation on the Varimex rotation. Then now I'm doing the Varimex rotations. Suppose I like to go with the Cortimax. These are the different rotation. If possible, kindly see my website. I'm giving separate descriptions, what is called Varimex, Cortimax, Promax, and all. So from this, I can conclude, just like to show, because I'm not finished all the things which I like to intend to highlight. If you go to my website of digigogi.info, you can find out the statistical resources. There is a separate link I given for the influencer statistics. Once you click the influencer statistics, you can find all my YouTube videos also available. So all the things I given as SPS based tutorials are available. Even some of the Excel tutorials also available. So if you look on this, you can understand in what way we can do the data analysis. And these are the two things is a free one. So everything is a free open source OER material only. You can use and you can share to anyone. Even you can modify. It's not at all issue for me. It's open to all. So I made the correlation. Suppose you like to know what is correlation, what's called point serial, rank correlation, everything's the answer is available. So different correlation I discussed here. There is a SPS tutorial. Suppose you want to check the special for SPS, you can go with this. Geometry software tutorial is available. These are this tutorials prepared by myself only. If you need, you can use this. So once again, I like to share my website link here. This is my website, digigorgi.info. It's my personal website, but the materials, entire materials are free only, so can use it. Now, now, if you have any questions, please kind of ask me now. Sorry, I'm not able to cover all because in the case of Geometry or Jasper, only one thing within 2 seconds I finish this. If you like to go with the structural equation modeling, that's also available. Even structural equation modeling, mediating analysis, MMI's model, latest growth. These are things not familiar from me. I'd like to learn. I'm executing the things now. Suppose we like to go with another data analysis. If you click the plus symbol in the JAS tool, you can have the different analysis options are available. Suppose you like to go with the audit brand, circular statistics, distribution, equivalence of features. There's a different calculation. Even for if you like to do the meta-analysis, if you click the meta-analysis, you can find this. Sir, the postdoc, there is a question from postdoc and the FXIs. Postdoc means, the postdoc test means, post means a second, post means after this, right? The name it's a post means after. Suppose I'm doing a ANOVA. In the ANOVA, I'm finding that there is a significant difference, right? There is a significant difference between the government school, aided school, and self-finance school. So I got that there is a significant difference. I want to know in which pair there is a significant difference. In which pair there is a significant difference. Then I can go with it. The second level of the extension of ANOVA, I'm going to do one more calculation. Therefore, it's called post-hoc. Post-hoc means the second level of calculation. Post-hoc means the extension of the calculation. ANOVA or extension is called as a post-hoc. Right. But in the case of effect size, it is not for the extension. We are checking how your treatment it make effect on the variable which you like to measure, right? That's your dependent variable how it. So generally, the effect size we can do only for the experiment method, right? That you can do this. Yeah. So there is one more question. What is the key difference between ANOVA and ANOVA? The simple definition, meaning their differences. ANOVA dependent variable one. Only one dependent variable only possible for ANOVA. In the case of ANOVA, at least you have the two dependent variables on it. You understand that, David Amla Prabhakar? So it's based on the number of dependent variables. Based on number of dependent variables. Yes. Yeah. So can I close this? Do you have any queries? Can you stop sharing?
Dear participants,
Thank you. Dear party, you have a hand so that we can unmute your mic, or otherwise type it in the chat box.
Madam, there is one question from Neha. So can I demo for her? One minute. So
sure.
yeah, there is a question from Neha, madam. So what's her question means? How we can find the sample size, right? It's a very good question because normally the people have the doubt about this sample size of the study. So please, for this also, I'm giving my website as the sources. If you go to my statistic resources, there is a digital tools statistics. If you go here, I can put different effect size calculator as well as the sample size calculator. You can see down, there is a sample size calculator, right? If I go with the survey system or the survey monkey sample size calculator, if I click the survey monkey, there's a survey monkey. So just to click the get started, but you must know the population size. Once you know the population size, only you can be able to do the sample size calculator. So just I'm going back, sorry. Yeah, so you can see it asking the, I'm going to find the sample size now. So here, for example, there is a population of 10,000 people. There is a population of 10,000 people. So I like to keep the confidence level is 95 or 99 I'm fixing. And the marginal error I fix the 4%, marginal error 4%. Once I fix like this, I may get the 9 into 43. This is my sample size calculator. So like this, we can check the sample size for your study. You have to find what is the sample size for you like to select, means you have to use this kind of online tools. Plenty of online tools are available to find a sample size. If you want to know the sample size formula, They're given a sample size formula down. See, this is the sample size formula. Z square into P into 1 by P divided by E square. There's a formula is also available, but don't need to be apply the formula. You can put the data, you can get the answer. This is called web tools, right? This is free web tools. Just you can type the population size and you may get this marginal, put the margin error and confirm error, you may get the answer. And there is a question from Sheila. Sir, you said to remove the item more than reliability, maybe lower than the reliability also. No. Madam, actually, in the case of, I'm talking about Cronbach. In the case of Cronbach alpha calculations, our intention to increase our reliability score. For example, I have the reliability score is 0.8. Suppose I'm removing 5 or 6 variables for 6 items. If my variable, my reliability is increasing 0.9, it is good because increasing the reliability, it's talking about consistency. Suppose I'm removing some items from my questionnaire or a scale. If my reliability is increased, good. That is why in the case of regression, Cronbach alpha item dropped. What is saying, if you are deleting the item or if you drop the item, your Cronbach alpha, it may increase. They given scores. So it seems that I want to increase the reliability because of the I want to ensure my consistency of the truth. Due to the reason, we have to remove only scores is more than the reliability score, not the less than. If it less than the score, for example, my reliability is 0.8. There is a first item, it's 0.81. So if you remove the first item, if your item data 0.81 means your reliability scores may be less only than already is 0.82. If you remove the first item, your reliability is already it may go less only. So what is the need to delete this? There is no need to do that. Yeah, there is a question. Some selected samples like 5% are increasing population. How we get the criteria? That's you can think about the error. What is the probability of the error? That you can think as a researcher. You can type that. So maximum you can fit the margin error 4, 3. So you can see if I fit the margin error, you can see the margin. If I put the 5, it should be 6 to do. Better to be remove the error. So I like to keep 1% error. That's enough. Means you can go with 6,000 to. Normally, the intention to the researcher to reduce the error, right? Reduce the error. So therefore, better to give the error as a 2% or 3%, right? So if you give the 3%, at least you can use 1,560 sample in the survey method. Yes. Any other questions?
Mr. Balaji, sir, now
Yeah.
you can post your question, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Myself, Balaji. It's a general comment only, not related to the session exactly. If at all we are missing our feedback link or attendance link, I have approached a person, that concerned person I have approached yesterday to send the link through the WhatsApp, but I didn't get the reply also for that. Maybe possible, not possible, I didn't get the reply also. Kindly consider this. Due to some kind of inconvenience, if at all we are missing the link, kindly consider when they are approaching personally to the inbox. That's the only one comment. Otherwise, suggestion or opinion you can take. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any other questions? Dear participants, if you have any queries, kindly raise your hands so that I can unmute your mic. Otherwise, you can post it in the chat box also.
So there is a question, I think, from Pandivadi, madam. So the questions that alternative statistic methods for Duncan. Actually, Duncan, it is look like a post-hoc test. Duncan is outdated. Now the people are moving to the Ducky or Sophie. So you can go with any alternative. So any post-hoc test we can adopt because the answer may be the same. If you are going with the Ducky or any Duncan or Bone for any, the answer may be the same only. But there is a context is okay. Normally the survey test we may use for the manual calculations, and the survey test we have to look both the, for example, the 2 groups or 3 groups, management, government aided should be same sample size. For that condition we can use it. Like the small variations only, but lot of alternatives tools are available. Yes, any other questions? So I share my thanks to the entire Dr. MGR College of institutions, particularly the Faculty of Education, Geeta Madam and Sandamil Pave Madam and Vinolya Madam to organize such a wonderful event. Thanks to all the participants for your patient listening as well the active participation in the entire the 1.5 hours of session. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiago sir. Actually, due to some technical issue, Principal ma'am couldn't join with us now. Undoubtedly, it was an excellent presentation. You have clearly explained that JASP interface is a user-friendly one. It is very much useful to all, particularly for researchers. It was a remarkable presentation, sir. We could see the chat box, so much of information, very informative, so much of information is coming out. Looking forward to conduct more programs like this in future also. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you all.
Acknowledging the good that you already have in your life is the foundation for all abundance. Now it's time for vote of thanks. I deem it a great honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks on behalf of the Faculty of Education and Academic Staff College, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. I take this opportunity to express a sincere thanks to Dr. K. Tyagoo sir, Assistant Professor, School of Education, Central University of Kerala, Kasaragod, Kerala. Sir, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and knowledge on free digital statistical tools. Your demonstration has kindled our interest and opened up our minds on new statistical softwares like JAS, Jamovi. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank our keynote speaker, Professor V. Radhika, ma'am, Additional Registrar, Phase 2 Campus, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, for her inspiring words. My sincere gratitude to our Honorable President, Engineer ACS Arun Kumar sir, for providing this wonderful opportunity. My heartfelt gratitude to all the executives of Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute for the guidance and support. I like to express our sincere thanks to Dr. K. Geeta ma'am, Principal, Faculty of Education, Dr. MGR Educational and Research Institute, for her enormous effort and support in organizing the event. I extend my gratitude to the Faculty of Education and technical team for their efforts to make us stay connected through this virtual platform. Last but not the least, I thank all the HODs, professors, research scholars, and all the participants from various universities and colleges for making this event a memorable one. Thank you one and all. Dear participants, today's attendance link is posted in the chat box. Kindly fill it. Thank you.
Madam, the participants asking my PPT. The PPT is available in the website, and my contact details also is available in the website. Please kindly.
Thank you.
Thank you.